Something I just got that I'm pretty excited about is this 3/8 6-point SAE socket set from Gray Tools. I've wanted to get some new Gray Tools for a while. All the stuff I have is just old stuff I've gotten at garage sales or a thrift store or give it to me, but it's all made in Canada. Well, most of it, all the tools seem to be going a little more overseas these days, which is too bad. But the stuff that is just amazing. Like beautiful chrome. I like how the chrome doesn't go into the well of the socket or down into the drive side, because that really helps keep it from chipping over time. That's something you usually only see on better quality stuff like Snap-on and Ultra Pro. The weight of it all is insane. Like the weight of this extension compared to like a Stanley or a cheap Chinesium one it's pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited about that. And same thing, the chrome doesn't go down into the well. It almost would have been nice if they could have stopped the chroming for the drive portion too, but I mean, shouldn't be using these on an impact anyways. But we do. The ratchets, this is the finest tooth ratchet they offer in the solid handle 3/8, and it is a 40 tooth ratchet, and it is pretty aggressive. It's probably not gonna be my first go-to for day-to-day work, but when I need to break something loose on a 3/8 drive with a ridiculous snipe, this thing is probably the only thing that'll handle it. Like, yeah, it'd take a lot to break this. Like, I have some other tool truck ratchets that are, they're the long handles, but if the long handle can't take it, you shouldn't sell it on a long handle. And man, I think I've warrantied that ratchet like every third time I use it. So it's nice to have something that's a little tougher. Like Gray Tools is definitely more targeted towards the industrial side of things, like oil and gas and millwrights and like factory work. So it's got to be the number one priority is tough, right? Because for like companies like Oilfield that are buying tools for their employees, well, being around the oil field, there's one thing I've learned, and that's that everyone treats tools like they're disposable unless they buy them for themselves. So if you're buying a tool for your employees and you don't want it to get wrecked, you got to buy something like this. Like, it is nuts. But it was such a good deal for the set that I also got the older version of the set. Just a couple small, right away off the bat differences is the socket holders are just these little generic ones, whereas with the new set they're magnetic socket rails, which is pretty slick. And they do, let's see if we find something to hold it up. There we go. So they do hold the weight of the sockets. I mean, like, that's a couple pounds. Like, that's a lot of steel, Canadian steel right there. But yeah, so the socket rails are different. The old set comes in a blow mold tray for the extensions, the universal and the ratchet, where the new set is this nice, shadow foam that seems to be the trend lately. And then as far as the tools and hardware goes, the only difference is in the ratchets themselves. The old one, the screws stick up a little bit there, where the new one, although it is a little bit thicker, there you go, kind of hard to see, the screws are in flush. So it depends on your preference. Do you want flush screws or do you want a fractionally thinner ratchet head? But the one thing that's kind of not as nice is the old one has the on-off for the selector switch, and the new one doesn't. It's kind of almost got bit of pitting or something there. What I might end up doing is maybe seeing if I can't print off or make a little sticker or 3D print a little logo or something that might fit in there. Would be, look like there's some clearance under that switch. So that'd be pretty sweet. Make do that, but I mean, other than that, and part number T9040 for the new one, and just T90 for the old one. But they're both the 40 tooth, and as far as the actual functionality and weight of the ratchets, I'd say they're pretty well identical. And then the part numbers on all the other things that I've checked are all the same. But like this set here, I got it for a little cheaper, and I didn't care about having the magnetic rails or the foam because they'll probably go on the this is my toolbox at the shop, so they'll get put onto my proper organizers that I match everything else, and then these guys will just go in the drawer. Whereas these ones I'm going to put into the service truck, so to have the magnetic rail and to have the shadow foam to hold these guys from bouncing around and stuff will be a little nicer. But yeah, I'm really excited about that because all the great tools I have, I love them and I love using them, but they're all ancient tools that I've either found or get them from like a garage sale and like a bucket of other random tools. But I mean, this is an old 5/8 12 point, and you can tell just by other signs like the style of knurling and stuff here at the bottom, the fact that it's not like the styling of the chrome and stuff, it's old. I'd say probably close to 50s or 40s. And I still use this thing. Like I use this thing for head bolts and all that. This is a 5/8 12 point. And I run this on the impact. And look at that, like nothing. Like this thing has stood the test of time. And as far as quality wise, I'd say they're some of the nicest sockets I've ever bought. I just love them. These are so nice. Just a little dirty. I can't really compare them to Snap-on, which is the only person I could think that would be nicer. Because the only Snap-on chrome socket I ever bought has been this 12.8 mil. Because there's one specific bolt inside the one style of engine I do a lot of that you don't really want to round that one bolt. So that bolt and those engines get nothing but the best. So I got this just specifically for that singular bolt on the faceplate of that singular engine. And then the only other chrome Snap-on I have is this old, it's still the pre-wrench logo, so I'd say it's got to be like early 80s. That's probably where I put this one. 5/8 6 point, and it's made in Canada, so you know it's definitely pre-90s. But yeah, all my Snap-on sockets I buy are impact. There's not a lot of, I don't have a lot of use for spending top dollar on chrome sockets. But yeah, the ratchets, like I said, they're tough. So if you have an apprentice or someone that likes to break tools, you know, tell them to buy a gray ratchet. But yeah, I don't think I'll reach for that too much compared to reaching for my Snap-ons. Like the back drag comparison is insane. Although I did recently get the new Craftsman V series, and man, those ratchets, like holding it like this and twisting it up, it wouldn't click under the weight of the ratchet. Like it would, you could spin the ratchet by the anvil on the back drag. Now, in the Craftsman's defense, their handles are a lot lighter than these ones. Like that's a lot of weight going out there like this. This has got to be close to twice the weight of the Craftsman V series 3/8. Like this is, yeah, I'm impressed. I'd say it's worth the price. they're just a little bit, like, they're cheaper than buying off the tool truck. They're a lot more than buying, you know, your prosumer lines like, you know, Icon and Gear Wrench and, you know, Ultra Pro, stuff like that. But they're made in Canada, so they're still made in North America. They're made with Canadian steel. It's an awesome little, you know, for less than 40 employee company. I'm impressed, and it's supporting a good business, and you're getting full lifetime, and like they're gonna outlive you. Like this thing's coming up on 80 years, and it's still seeing full-time heavy abuse from a diesel tech. So like that's pretty impressive.